Kim Kardashian hits breaking point with Kanye, fears for her kids. Kim Kardashian has hit her breaking point with Kanye West. At this point, she fears for her children's lives. She is going to have to put her foot down and decide if he will ever be able to see their children again. Kim has had to pick North up early from visits with her father due to his inconsiderate behavior. This is not a surprise to anyone. Keep reading to find out more about this situation. Kanye West constantly puts North in danger. Kanye West is not the best father when it comes to keeping his daughter out of danger. There have been a couple of instances where Kim had to go and get North early from visits with her father. In March, Kim had to file for emergency custody over her and Kanye's children. This happened after Kim found out North was in a song with her father, but also with Sean Diddy Combs. Obviously, this was not a safe person for North to be around. However, she also had to pick North up early from a visit when she found out she was hanging out with Andrew and Tristan Tate, who are currently being accused of human trafficking. Kim Kardashian hits breaking point, fears for her kids. Kim Kardashian has hit her breaking point with Kanye West. During a live stream, Kanye got upset about not seeing his children. He was aggressively slamming his hands down while saying, "Kim is not having it with this." It seems as though Kim is not comfortable with Kanye being around any of their children. She is going to do everything in her power to keep her kids away from their father. This is not out of spite. It is because this is the only way she can make sure her children are safe at all times. Kanye has been known to have mental health issues in the past. However, he is denying those issues now. It was just past midnight in Hidden Hills when Kim Kardashian stood barefoot in her massive marble kitchen, clutching a steaming mug of chamomile tea she hadn't taken a sip from. The house was still, save for the gentle hum of the refrigerator and the occasional rustle from upstairs where her children lay sleeping. But Kim's mind was anything but quiet. She stared out the glass wall toward the twinkling city lights below, trying to breathe through the storm brewing inside her. Tonight wasn't just another difficult moment in a long line of difficult moments with Kanye. It felt different. Final. Fractured beyond repair. Earlier that evening, she had received a call from North's school. "Kim, we need to talk about the online activity your daughter has been exposed to," the principal had said, her voice laced with cautious concern. Kim already knew what was coming. Kanye had posted again, this time a string of unfiltered, erratic videos, complete with accusations against celebrities, politics, and even veiled comments about Kim's parenting. But what shook Kim the most wasn't the public embarrassment. It was North's quiet question before bed. "Mom, is Daddy okay? Why does he say those things?" Kim had managed to reassure her daughter with a soft smile and a gentle kiss, but deep down, she was unraveling. How many times could she shield the kids from Kanye's outbursts? How much longer could she keep explaining away his behavior as artistic expression or just being passionate? She set the untouched mug down on the counter and pulled out her phone. The screen glowed with dozens of texts, missed calls, and news alerts. Kanye was trending again. #YeMeltdown, #KanyeUnfiltered, #PrayForE. She scrolled quickly past a clip of him screaming during a live stream and another of him pacing in what looked like a dark, candlelit room, wearing a ski mask, and ranting about clones controlling the industry. It had stopped being just embarrassing. Now it was terrifying. A ping interrupted her scroll, an email from her legal team. "Emergency custody plan. Review ASAP." Kim had spent years defending Kanye, trying to keep the family intact for the kids' sake, even after their divorce was finalized. She believed in love, in loyalty. She believed people could heal. But tonight, as she read through the stark legalese outlining supervised visits and mental health evaluations, she realized something brutal and true. Protecting Kanye's image was no longer an option. Her children's safety came first. A tear slid down her cheek as she opened the Notes app and began to type, a practice she often used before releasing a public statement. But this time, the words weren't for social media. They were for her heart. I never thought I'd be here, terrified of the man I once built dreams with. You were my everything. Our family was supposed to be forever. But tonight I looked in my daughter's eyes and saw confusion where trust used to live. I can't let that grow. Suddenly, her phone buzzed again. Kanye. Calling. She hesitated. Decline. Pick up. She had ignored him for most of the day, afraid of what he might say next. But something compelled her to answer. Maybe part of her still hoped for the Kanye she once knew, the one who held her hand at Paris Fashion Week, who whispered dreams into her ear while she was pregnant, who painted wild visions of their empire in the stars. Kim. His voice crackled, breathless and erratic. You have to stop them. They're coming for me. For us, I saw it in a vision. The kids, they're not safe without me. I need to see them. She closed her eyes and steadied herself. Kanye, you need help. You can't keep doing this. The kids are scared. I'm scared. Don't say that, he shouted. You're just listening to the system. I'm the only one who really loves them. They belong with me. No, Kim said, her voice finally firm. They belong with both of us. But only if you're well. Only if you're safe. There was a pause. A long, painful silence. Then he hung up. Kim stood frozen for a moment, her chest tight. This wasn't just a custody issue anymore. It was a crisis. She needed to move quickly before things spiraled further. Not for headlines. Not for brand image. For North. For Saint. For Chicago. For Sam. The next morning, Kim was in full legal mode. She met with advisors, therapists, and security consultants. She arranged emergency therapy sessions for the kids and began outlining a new plan for visitation. Every step she took was like cutting ties with the past, but she didn't flinch. Later that day, she sat with her mom, Kris Jenner, at the sprawling family estate in Calabasas. Kris reached across the table and squeezed her hand. You're doing the right thing, honey. I know it's hard, but you have to be the strong one now. Kim nodded, her eyes weary. I just didn't think it would end like this. I didn't think I'd be afraid of the father of my kids. Kris leaned in, her voice gentle. He's not well, Kim, and that's not your fault. That night, Kim posted a message, not to address the media frenzy, but to reaffirm her boundaries. Mental health is real. Co-parenting is hard. But I will always put my children's well-being first. I ask for privacy and compassion as we navigate this very personal situation. The post went viral, of course. Support poured in from fans, celebrities, and even fellow moms who understood the tightrope walk of love and protection. But behind the screen, Kim felt something she hadn't felt in months: relief. A strange, painful sort of peace. She wasn't just a business mogul or a reality star anymore. She was a mother at war with chaos, and she was finally drawing the line. As she tucked North into bed that night, her daughter whispered, Mom, will Daddy be okay? Kim kissed her forehead. I hope so, baby. I really do. And for the first time in weeks, Kim allowed herself to believe it. Maybe not today. Maybe not soon. But one day, things would settle. One day, the storm would pass. But until then, she'd be the anchor, for her kids, for her family, and for herself.